turn number 7. That is a sharp left-hand turn. They move through a very short straightaway and then go into turn number 8. It's a very fast portion of the racetrack, and this far east end we will refer to during the afternoon as the back 40. That will consist of turns 8, 9, and 10 just before they reach the front stretch, the longest. The Budweiser Cleveland 500 is underway. Let's watch them into this first series of S-turns.
Mears is off, as is Brabham, as is Rabake.
Several cars off of the racetrack, but some of them get back on. Hector Rabake, you can see, got off, but is back on, and the race is continuing as they move off of the third turn onto the backstretch. The leader is Kevin Cogan in car number 4, being pursued by Bobby Rahal. In third position is Mario Andretti. Fourth goes to Howdy Holmes. Fifth is Al Unser. Sixth is Rick Mears. They go into turn number 6 to the middle stretch now. They're coming right at you. Now into turn number 7. They will head north toward the lake for just a short period of time, then get into turn number 8 as Kevin Cogan is setting the pace here. Cogan jumped off into the lead at the drop of the green flag. Several cars behind him got off of the race course. Kevin has stayed on, and now here he is through turn number 10 onto the front stretch. Kevin Cogan with a comfortable lead at this point on the second place car of Bobby Rahal. Third place belongs to Mario Andretti. Then comes Al Unser. The completion of lap number 1. It is Andretti third, Unser running fourth, Howdy Holmes fifth, Rick Mears sixth, and in 7th position is Jose Legarza. 8th is Gordon Johncock.
In 9th position is Hector Rabake, who was one of the 3 drivers who did not make the first turn. Our spotters around the racetrack report that Hector has a broken skirt on this race car on the right-hand side, which could potentially slow him down. That certainly disturbs the ground effects. And in that start, when the 3 cars went off, Bob, I did not see any contact. Rick Mears got a great start. He moved around 2 or 3 cars at the drop of the green flag, and he just overcooked it. Going into turn number 1, he didn't make it. It was almost as if
Kevin Cogan now into turn number 8, setting up for the 9th turn. Cogan is the leader as we are in our second lap. The speeds here this weekend I don't think were quite as fast as a lot of people anticipated. We started off on Friday evening in the first practice session with speeds at about 118 miles an hour. The fastest qualifier, Kevin Cogan, clocked in at 123, but remember, that was under what were somewhat less ideal conditions because of the heavy rain that we had here yesterday. There is Kevin Cogan once again crossing the start-finish line. Bobby Rahal continues to run in second place. As they move by us, we'll call them off to you. Third is Mario Andretti. Fourth is Al Unser. Fifth is Rick Mears. Sixth is Howdy Holmes. Seventh is Rabake. 8th is Garza. 9th is Gordon Johncock. And 10th is Tom Sneva. 11th, Vern Schupan. 12th, Jeff Brabham. 13th, Chip Ganassi. 14th, Herm Johnson. 15th is Johnny Rutherford. 16th is Pancho Carter. And in 17th position is Dick Simon.
Kevin Cogan has really opened up some distance early on in the race. There's Howdy Holmes in the Domino's Pizza Hot One, a 1982 March machine. Howdy Holmes driving for Team Scherson, runs in 6th position. Yesterday afternoon, late in the qualifying session, Howdy Holmes was sitting on the pole, at least clerically. Then they found out they'd had an error in timing and scoring and moved Howdy back to 7th. But Howdy has certainly been among the top 10 here all weekend.
Well, somebody took out a pylon there as the cars move through turn number 8. And that's another thing we're going to have to watch for this afternoon. Howdy Holmes in car number 30, the Domino's Pizza Hot One, running in 6th position. Leader continues to be Kevin Cogan in car number 4, and he has just crossed the start-finish line, completing lap number 3. Here is Bobby Rahal moving into the 11th and 12th turns onto the stretch here in front of us to complete lap number 3. And now Rick Mears. Rick Mears has moved into 3rd position, passing Mario Andretti to the inside right at the start-finish line. So Rick Mears in car number 1, the defending champion of the CART PPG Indycar World Series, has moved into 3rd position, but Mario Andretti is right there behind him. They move off of the hairpin turn number 3 onto the backstretch. Still, Rick Mears has 3rd position nailed down.
Well, Well, that surprised me a little bit. Rick Mears, of course, on the radio with team manager Roger Penske. He's got a great fix as to the whereabouts of his teammate, Kevin Cogan, who is way out in front. And usually we don't see Rick Mears charge very much at all early racing. Now Mears goes to work on Bobby Rahal. I believe, yes, it is. Mears trying to squeeze underneath Rahal as they enter turn number 6 on this course. Turn number 7 now. Mears going to work on Rahal, and Mears doing some, for him, uncharacteristic racing in the very early stages of an event.
Well, good side-by-side racing, despite the fact that they're on a very tight turn road course. Now the drivers move off of turn number 10 onto the front stretch. It is still Bobby Rahal in second place, but it looks like Rick Mears will move to the inside, and Rick Mears moves into second place at the end of the front stretch. Rick Mears passes Bobby Rahal. Mears is now second, Rahal third, Hector Rabake is fourth, and in fifth position is Mario Andretti.
Rabake has made a great recovery and dropped to like 8th or 9th after his first lap extraterrestrial excursion off the race course. And Andretti, he is either really cooling it or that car is backing up, because quite a number of competitors are now knocking right on Andretti's door. Mario was as high as third at one point. Now Rabake also goes to work on Rahal. There is Rick Mears, who runs in second position. He sets his sights on teammate and current race leader Kevin Cogan as they bounce through turns 5 and 6.
Well, Kevin Cogan has a very commanding lead at this point. Now Hector Rabake has moved into third position ahead of Bobby Rahal. So it is Kevin Cogan, Rick Mears, Rabake, and then the number 19 of Bobby Rahal. A very large lead at this point for Kevin Cogan, who has no race traffic in front of him. Here is Kevin Cogan passing the start-finish line. As you can see, the other cars just moving off of turn number 10 into the front stretch. It looks like that Rabake's car is damaged, Larry, as you said earlier, because of the fact that he got off of the track at the start. There's something dangling, it appears, from that race car.
So the skirts are an added-on feature of the bodywork of the race car. They're just tacked on to the lower sides of the machines, and Hector's was damaged. We knew that it had been broken in a couple places, and finally the piece that had been cracked and sheared is beginning to fly off of the race car. I think he has now shedded it like a snake shedding part of its skin. Rabake continues to run hard. He continues to run fast, and so far the loss of that right side skirt has not slowed down the Mexican and former Formula 1 road racer. There's Mario Andretti moving underneath Bobby Rahal. Rahal, who ran second, now drops back to fifth as Andretti moves into third, running now behind Rabake and teammates Kevin Cogan and Rick Mears.
So good competition here in the early stages of this race for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh position, as the front two cars are the Penske cars, driven by Kevin Cogan and Rick Mears, respectively. Cogan with a commanding lead at this point, and Rick Mears now trying to catch up. Third place.